What's good, everybody? It is Friday, January 21st, 2022. This is the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. I am the coach, and we are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting. Let's quickly take a look at how we did as a brand on Thursday. Not bad. Not bad. St. Louis, that one came right down to the wire. And the underdog, so close to 2 straight days of 2-0. And the only thing that can screw over a under is overtime. And that's exactly what happened. So there's nothing you can do about that. Let's bring in the stars of the show. And we're going to go 5 wide today. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, fellas. One day closer to this epic playoff weekend. I can't wait. I got another player prop for you in one of these games, but it's going to be such a fun weekend. I talked about it on my DFS podcast, actually. This is the first time that I can remember that I had the top 8 teams in my power ratings, in my simulations, as the final 8 teams in the
Really?
playoffs.
Really?
I think that's evident. Spreads, too. You look at the spreads. The biggest one now at this point is only 5.5 points. I think we got the 8 best teams here.
And that's going to make for a great, great weekend. It's got to make you feel great about your model and where it's at and how it works. So that's awesome. Can't wait to get that prop pick in a moment. Speaking of props, by the way, this afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern time, right here on this channel, our Prop Spectacular. See you, Dave and Prop Stars. Next up, also live from Nashville, Tennessee, but 8 floors below. Dial up. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, a great weekend ahead. And look, it's really cold here in Nashville, so if anybody wants to deliver some chicken nugget breakfast over to me, I would greatly appreciate that because, yeah, I don't feel like getting outside at all.
Now, is it really cold, or is it like when we're cold out here in Orange County and it's a little bit chilly in the morning? Everybody's like this. You're like, it's still 64. Come on.
Yeah, I think it's like 20 degrees right now.
That's cold. All right, that's cold. That's cold.
It's cold
that's
for
cold.
us. Yeah.
Now, I know it's cold in New York City, and that's where Jay Smooth resides. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, it's about, 10 degrees here this morning. Nothing too crazy, but I'll be inside nice and toasty waiting for college basketball games to start. No worries.
I know you will not. And he is our rock. He is our anchor. Maestro, happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday. I don't think anybody was worried about that, Justin, but I am glad that you are safe and toasty down there. I just want to say, this is the greatest weekend for NFL. The spreads are closer, I think, than they've been in something like 20 or 30 years for this round. There is not one big favorite. And I just hate that the games start late in the day. You got to wait till 4:30, you got to wait till 3. The anticipation just builds. And I am all in on the Titans. I mean, first half, side, money line, props. So you guys got to bring it home down there in Nashville.
See, I don't hate the fact that it's starting late because it's going to allow me to play golf with my son in the morning and then do our 2 live shows in the afternoon and early evening and then get ready for UFC 270. The world heavyweight title is on the line. That episode is in your feed right now as well with our guy Andrew Gambas, who, by the way, went 4-0 last week. Perfect. You may want to go check that out. Busy weekend across all sports. All right, let's get into storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And for us, it is all about the NFL and our storylines. And AB, what do you got?
Coach, I always like to play a little trivia in the morning. Get the brain going, right? Little brain game for you. Well, here's a trivia question. We have 4 quarterbacks in the NFL making a road start this weekend. Can you name the only one that has a road playoff win?
Of the 4 that are playing this weekend, the only quarterback, the 4 quarterbacks would be Garoppolo, Stafford, who else? Josh
Burrow.
Allen and Joe Burrow. The only one that has a road win?
Road playoff win. Yep.
I know it's not Stafford, and I'm going to go Garoppolo.
Correct.
He won last week. Well, he won last week.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
He is the only one. Joe Burrow, nope. Josh Allen, 0-2. Nope. Matthew Stafford, nope. Jimmy Garoppolo is the only one that has won a road playoff game.
Cool. And he'll be the only one that has won a playoff game that will be going home after this weekend. All right. Now, in the Rams and Bucs. And this morning, for some reason, I had Skip Bayless on in the background. I never do that, but I did it this morning. And he was talking about how he's having some reservations about Tom Brady moving forward in the playoffs. And uncharacteristically, I agree with him. Maestro, what do you have from that game?
Well, everyone has been focused on the Bucs O-line injuries, and Wirfs and Jensen still out yesterday. We'll have to see if Jensen can go today. I don't think Wirfs is going to play, but the Rams also have a big issue, and that's Andrew Whitworth, their left tackle, has not practiced. He left that game with the knee injury against the Cardinals. Now, his backup, Noteboom, is really not that bad. In fact, if you look at the PFF grades, they're only about 10 points apart. He's allowed 1 sack on 175 snaps, so he's not a terrible backup by any means, but he is a downgrade. So that's another O-line issue to watch for on today's report. They could just be managing his knee, but we'll find out more today.
Oh, we got to keep that in mind. And by the way, if you are into the prop market, not only do you need to watch this afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern time, but you really got to wait to see who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. And one man who will be playing this weekend, oh, Mikey, talk to me.
Yeah, we just got news. Derrick Henry expects to play in this game. Official announcement, the first real announcement that we've seen around it. I don't think it changes the betting market much. I think it was already priced in. I think it was pretty understood that he was going to give it a go. So I don't expect it to really move much at all on total or spread. The player prop will be very interesting when that comes out this afternoon, if they release it this afternoon or wait till closer till game day. I could tell you my number on it is 82.5. So we'll see where the books come out with and what everything comes up with. So I'm limiting him just a little bit. We would expect that number to be closer to 100 if he was 100% capacity. So that's where I'm pricing him. I'm going to be very interested to see where the books and then ultimately where the market moves his number. But I expect him to be pretty healthy. We saw Cam Akers, who also had an injury, come back, look very explosive. I personally think that having that bye week obviously was helpful. I think he would have been pushed ahead and played had they not had the bye anyway. So I think he'll be out there. I just think Foreman will earn a few more carries because of how well he's played.
I think you're spot on with that. I would be very, very hesitant to play the over if I was thinking about it, because I think his cardio is going to be severely limited. We'll see what kind of shape he's in after 2 or 3 months off. With a foot injury, you can't do a lot of running. You can't do a lot of that stuff. You got to be in the pool, and that helps the injury, but it doesn't necessarily. I had to do it one time. It's hard on the cardio. So we'll see. We'll see. That's a great storyline by you. All right, let's get into our board for the day. Now, you saw, if you watched us live yesterday on our soccer episode, the debut of Buckets, our newest soccer guru. No. Sorry. Soccer analyst, because Martin W. Green is the guru. So today we're going to go with one of Buckets. Both teams to score. How about that? Let's go Watford and let's go Norwich City, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And you know that both teams to score is my favorite bet of all the bets. If you go to his Twitter right now, he's got, I think, 4 or 5 more plays if you want to continue to tail him. But here on the show, we're going to go Watford, Norwich City. They have both allowed an astonishing number of goals, a direct quote from Buckets. All right, let's get into my guys that are on the show right now. And when I get to do this multiple times in a week, and we get to start the weekend this way, it makes my heart feel good. So M squared, you know the drill, son. Give it to me.
All right, Coach. I think we've got a nice spot to attack here with Joe Mixon. And I'm looking at Joe Mixon's receiving yards here for the Cincinnati Bengals. Over 19.5 receiving yards is the number currently on FanDuel. It's 21.5 at some other spots. I would still play the 21.5. 22.5 is where I would stop. But what I'm looking at here, 5, 8, and 6 targets in each of the last 3 games that he has played. He didn't play in the game where they rested everyone. What was common about those 3 games was that they were must-win games for them. He has been very good in the passing game in must-win games, 28, 40, 70 receiving yards. He has multiple games this year outside of that 3-game stretch where he exceeded 50 receiving yards. I'm looking for this game to be more competitive. Now that we have news that Derrick Henry is going to give it a go here, I think that makes this game very competitive or puts them in a trailing game script, which is absolutely what we need for Joe Mixon to catch passes here from Joe Burrow. This number at 19.5 is simply too low. I fully expect it to close around 23.5, 24.5. So jump on it now, and FanDuel has the best price currently at 19.5.
Oh, I love that a lot. Get the number. That's why we have the early edge. The reason for the show. Get the number before it moves, because you know it's going to move immediately. All right. We will get back to the Bengals game very shortly. But right now, I need to go to Tampa, because the one man on the show that always seems to have a sixth sense on when a quarterback is going to throw an INT. It's my man, A.B. Talk to me.
Yeah, Coach, back in the pioneer days, we had to go and hunt for our food, right? Deer, buffalo, you name it. Well, luckily, we don't have to do that anymore. But we're going to fire it back up this weekend and go goat hunting because Tom Brady is going to throw an interception this weekend, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to take him over half an interception at -110. Look, he hasn't faced a pass rush in over a month, and add that with the offensive line issues that Maestro just broke down. Well, the last time that he faced a team that could actually get after the quarterback was the New Orleans Saints, and it didn't go well at all. I'm not saying that it's going to be that bad, but he is going to face a ton of pressure this weekend, and he will put one up in the air. Tom Brady over half an interception.
Yeah, he's going to put one up in the air after he throws a few into the dirt because that's what he does when the rush comes up the middle. So I think it's going to be a long day for Tom Terrific this weekend. I really, really do. We'll get back to football in a second. But I need to go to college basketball now because this man has been laser focused on the sport the entire season. Jay Smooth, what do we have today?
Yeah, Coach. So I'm actually going to go with an underplay today. You're going to find this one right around between like 147, 148, 149. It's going to be Kent and Buffalo. So here's the deal. All right. Kent has actually been playing some really, really good defense. If you look at their last few games in January, I think they have played 6 games this month. They've limited opponents to just 62.5 points. They are the second best defense in MAC play so far this season. I think that they're going to, again, come out and get a slow-paced game. According to Haslametrics, they're the 320th slowest team in the country. They're going to go up against Buffalo, which is going to be a little bit concerning and why we're seeing this line rise. But I think it's for the wrong reasons. Buffalo is going to probably end up playing a little bit slower because Kent's just going to force that issue. They are a really good defense, and they're actually not really a good offense. So this should be a good little combination here to get us a nice under. You can find it, like I said, anywhere from 147, 148, but I like it. I played at 145.5 last night, so any of those numbers are pretty great to me.
All right. Sounds good to me. I've watched a couple of Kent State games this year, and you are correct. They are not a good basketball team at all. All right.
Good on defense, and that's what we want tonight.
That's what we want in an under. That's what we want in an under. All right. Now let's head back to the NFL because 2 games this weekend. It's all about stars. We talked about it last week, Maestro, all weekend. We said the stars are the ones that have to shine. And you believe you found 2 of the biggest stars that we need to pay attention to this weekend. Who is it?
Well, one star for the 49ers who's been very quiet is George Kittle. 4 games, 78 total receiving yards his last 4 games. Before that, he had a 3-game stretch with over 400 receiving yards. He exploded. And then for 4 weeks, he's been very quiet. Well, Kyle Shanahan said this week, we have to find ways to get him the ball. That could mean on some screens. He's also playing a Packers team that he went off for 7 and 92 receiving yards, 7 catches on 9 targets in the first meeting. I think with all the attention on Deebo Samuel and the running game that the Packers are going to have to pay attention to, this is a good matchup for him. We're getting a very reasonable number, 48.5 receiving yards. I'm going to go over on George Kittle and bank on them getting him involved. And then the other one I really love, Joe Burrow over 35.5 passing attempts. The Bengals have become more pass heavy late in the season. It's just what they've been going to. And if you look at the Tennessee defense, they are a pass funnel. Teams playing Tennessee pass 11% higher than they do normally. I also think with the game script, like I said, I'm banking on the Titans being ahead, winning this game. That is going to mean more passes for Joe Burrow. And this also plays well with Mikey's prop. So let's get them both.
Oh, I like it a lot when you get so fired up. You get intense. I see those eyes. I know how ready you are for an entire weekend of NFL football. All right. We are up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the jeweler, and it looks glorious. M squared, we start there. Joe Mixon, over 19.5. He believes it'll close somewhere closer to 23 or 24, so get it in now. AB, Tom Brady, over 0.5 an interception, -110. Then the Maestro on 2 different props. Burrow, over 35.5 pass attempts. And then George Kittle, over 48.5 receiving yards in Lambeau. Then Jay Smooth, Kent State Buffalo. Let's go under 147.5. And then from Buckets, from SportsLine, if you're not a SportsLine member yet, use the promo code EDGE. We'll give you 30 days, for free. Today, Watford, Norwich, both teams to score -130. All right, jeweler, show your face. I want to know all about this gem today. Educate me, sir.
Well, we're going to go with just a little two-leg gem today. I looked back through the record book and noticed that I pretty much only won on the teasers. This is not a teaser, but it's a little teaser-esque parlay that Mike has been doing lately that we love so much. We're going to take Green Bay on the money line. I think the Packers get it done in Lambeau Field, which I know historically under this sort of recent Packers, franchise, we haven't been seeing a lot of success as the 1 seed at Lambeau Field, but that's a little scary, but I think they get it done against Garoppolo and the 49ers. And of course, we're going to take the under 53.5 in that same exact game, inspired by the AB Nugget yesterday. Throw a little party platter on this and feed the whole family for the weekend. Since 1960, there have been 17 games at Lambeau Field. 10 degrees are colder at kickoff. They're going around 0 degrees, I think, at kickoff. All 17 were under 45 total points. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take Green Bay money line with the alternate under of 53.5. That comes back at +108.
Boy, that is a great way to get a number that you love, and Green Bay only has to win the game. When you talk about, when you talk about the 10 degrees or below, I can't help but think about some of those idiots out there that absolutely love their Green Bay Packers and show up with no shirts on and spray paint their bodies. I can tell you this, and you all know who's watching right now while I'm doing this. I would do anything for love of a team, but I won't do that. Rest in peace, Meatloaf. Rest in peace. All right, we've only got one thing left to do, and you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, J Smooth, M Squared, Dial Up, the Maestro, the Jeweler puts it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. It's a busy weekend. If you are not a subscriber to our YouTube channel, you're watching us right now, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. NFL preview, soccer preview, UFC 270 preview, props today at 2 p.m. Eastern. What more can we do? Right here on the Early Edge. Good luck.